Good evening. This is Ken Long from Tortoise Capital Management. I wanted to take a look at a case study of some lunchtime trading today from the chat room on March 15th, 2012. And what I have here is an array of 6 charts that I was stalking. Usually just to the left of my screen I would have the 40 symbols that I normally watch, and I have them ranked based on percent gain so far in the day, but I've just isolated on the 6 that I had narrowed my focus to. And what I was looking at were SPY, the market, IWM is the Russell 2000 small caps in the middle, EFA is the Euro Asia blend ETF, VXX, the VIX ETF. Microsoft and Hewlett Packard were 2 relative strength winners that I had been tracking, and I was expecting to see some follow through, but never really got it. So what I ended up taking the trade on was IWM, and I started stalking it here at the vertical blue line, which is my symbol for raising my interest level or stalking. And I'd identified this period of time here in the yellow shaded area as sideways quiet channel. The Bollinger Bands are relatively tight. You can tell by the red line, which is the Bollinger Band median, or the mean, excuse me, that it was flat, and so it's moving sideways, it's quiet in a tight channel. Thus, sideways quiet channel. Well, right at about 1210 Central, both of the regression lines left the Bollinger Band region, which is the shaded blue area, and so I made an entry at 81.20. I used a 25-cent stop, which would have been just below the Bollinger Band region, and it moved out sharply. You can see the price is the 3-minute price line is the actual light gray line. It moved up to 83. I'm sorry, that should read 82, 82.20. I'm sorry, 82.60. I think is the better number. And then it moved up to about 83. I think that's a typo. So it moved up to 83, where I exited at 83.05 after it reached a peak of 83.06 and then started to fail sideways, and I got a good fill at 83.05. And so we ended up coming in about 1.8 R. While that was going on, SPY had shown strength. It had also, the train had left the station, as it were, at about 12:10 as well. The VIX at the same time had been in sideways quiet channel and was breaking down, and there were 2 times when the regression lines both left the Bollinger Band region. I was tracking it. I didn't take the trade, and I just missed it. By the time I really recognized that it was working, I missed that move from 22.07 down to 21.70. By the time of the crossover here, I should have, if I'd have been in that trade, I would have to be out. So there were 2 times when that trade could have triggered, when the price and the 10-period regression line left the Bollinger Band pinch, and then the second time. I also, at the time that I was trying IWM, I missed the trade on EFA, which was probably even a better, smoother move because it had been a little stronger than IWM. But the reason I missed both the VIX and the EFA trade was because I had I tried entering Microsoft here and also at about 12:10, and a little earlier I'd been trying HPQ. The HPQ had been a relative strength winner all day on the basis of this strong move. It had moved up while the market itself and IWM were sideways. So I was hoping that HPQ would be front-running the market and that it would take off and then be supported by SPY's move here. However, after the entry at about 24.48, it moved up to maybe 24.55 and never really worked further. And it actually failed and came back into the Bollinger Band region, so I scratched that trade pretty pretty quickly. That was failing while SPY and IWM were going up, so there's no reason to stay in that trade because it was not being supported. It was measurably weaker than the market. At the same time that IWM was taken off, Microsoft too was going up, and so I entered that one at about 32.85. It went up a short period of time, but then failed back into the Bollinger Band region, so I ended up exiting, maybe 6 or 10 minutes later because it was failure to follow through. So the IWM trade actually worked out for about 1.8R. This was a span of control issue where I missed the VIX and I missed EFA because I had 3 positions on, and that was about as many as I could at that time in the afternoon effectively manage. I'm pleased that I didn't stick around for these trades. You can see how after the 10-period regression line crosses the 30, that it fails and degrades back into the Bollinger Band and beyond. And so I was able to at least stay with the trade that was working, and that paid for the 2 scratches that were either flat or fractional losses. So that's a sample of some afternoon trading, or lunchtime and afternoon trading. Don't have to be perfect. This was not a particularly good day for me, but I recognized the signals. I took the ones that I felt comfortable and confident managing. Didn't try to do too much. I was pleased that I managed the exits properly on the scratches and got what was available in IWM as it left the sideways quiet channel. So that's March 15th from the trading room, 2012. Keep your risk measured and your powder dry.